are in the world, and once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Ben Joya from InfluenceWithAHeart.com. Really glad you're here. If we haven't met before, I'm a 3-time international best-selling author, and I want to talk real quick about healthy boundaries for your book. Right? Boundaries are not just for the human beings, right? So boundaries are super important. Setting boundaries, maintaining boundaries. I'm not just talking about personal space, but what you accept for yourself from people, from yourself, right? You need to give yourself delineation, right? Give yourself a path to follow. Give yourself a place just to not always stray beyond. I mean, sometimes it's good to stray beyond, don't get me wrong, but boundaries can be really helpful. Like think of raising a child, structure, timeline, that kinds of things. And this applies to your book, right? And this is especially important if you are a perfectionist or a recovering perfectionist such as myself, right? You gotta let that book go, right? So I often remind people about creating a messy manuscript, right? Like just get the freaking messy thing done, because you're gonna have more benefit and more ability to build and develop on the messy book that you've created than the book that's still up here, okay? So that's the first part, letting go of perfection, right? This is one part of the healthy boundaries for your book. The other part, and you may never have heard this before, is to actually choose the length of your book ahead of time, right? So choose the word count of your book ahead of time, right? Because if you have the word count and you have some kind of great outline, like I give my clients an actual blueprint to follow for their book so they don't have to think about the logistics of the book, right? They're just thinking about their content and the people that they're serving, right? So you give yourself a word count, you follow an outline, you dictate as much as possible, and you get that book done because you give yourself that limited space, right? You have so many ideas. You're an expert, you're an authority, you're a thought leader. Like you could write 3, 5, 10, 20 books depending on your stuff, right? But what book do your people need right now, right? That's a good reminder of what you need to bring forth and where you need to focus the lens, where you want to focus the lens, right? And the last part of that is choose that word count ahead of time, and it will make your life and the completion of your book so much easier. So Ben Joya, InfluenceWithAHeart.com. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Thanks for bringing your book and message to the world, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.